going on, everybody? It is Moose, Garrett, and Boyle here from OccupyFantasy.com at OccupyFantasy on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And I forgot to unmute you guys coming in, so now you're unmuted. Let's start off with Garrett at the top right of your screen at GStroms99 on Twitter. What's up, man? How's it going?
Going well, man. How about you?
You there, Garrett?
You hear me?
I think Garrett got cut
Hello.
out. Hold on one second, guys. Technical difficulties. We'll be right back. All right, perfect. We can hear Garrett, and we're going to go ahead and bring him back in. So let's switch screens. So what's up, Garrett? How's it going? No, it's all good. It wouldn't be an occupied Twitch stream without some technical difficulties. Or I guess YouTube stream now. But and then at the left of your screen we have Boyle at tboyle24_DFS. What's up, man? Nice. Always good. Nice. Awesome. So let's go ahead here and let's jump right into it. So just want to make sure if people can just comment in chat, make sure that you can hear me, Garrett, and Boyle. Make sure we're all good there. So let's jump right into it. What you see here on screen is the Occupy Fantasy Daily Plug, which you can check out at OccupyFantasy.com. For members only, but let's see. And all right, so Feinstein says you can't hear. That's not good. All right, let me try this one more thing here. All right, Garrett, can you start talking about how you feel about the slate?
So I feel pretty good about the slate. There's a
I was just saying, like, if you could just say a couple sentences to make sure. Let's see here. So how about now, guys? So you feel good about it. Let's see if we can hear now. Let's see here. How about now? Asking some people if they hear us. There he is. All right, cool. We got you back in. So Garrett is good. I'm good. Now let's Boyle. What do you think about this the slate tonight? Perfect. Now, can we comment if you all can hear Boyle? Let's wait for that. Yeah, a couple people saying that Garrett is choppy. I think that's actually on his end. I think his internet just sucks. All right, let me see here. Let me try. All right, hold on. I'm just gonna try one more thing, guys. Try one more thing. Let's see here. All right. So, Boyle, you said there were some injuries. Just say something to see if we can hear you.
Yeah. There's about 4 injury situations tonight.
All right, cool. So, in other words, this is another way I can get people to comment in the chat, because last time we got like nobody to comment. But now, if we just have a bunch of difficulties and we need to test live, you can hear it. Yeah. So apparently, yeah, as Brian puts in chat, it's time for me to carry the stream. I don't know that much about NBA.
play on your NBA knowledge. Let's go, man.
Exactly. Yeah. Hashtag free Boyle is what I'm trying to say. So let's see. I'm just trying to figure this out as we go live, which is weird. Literally the same settings. Everyone's in the same room. And yeah, Brian, I'm not. If I'm gonna dissect the slate, I literally would just read the plug word for word. But yeah. So if all right. So apparently Brian says we're good now. Cool. We'll take it. And if anything else happens, then I'll probably just end the stream. So let's take a look. Perfect. So, all right. Glad that we're all here. I don't know what just happened. I had the exact same settings as before. I don't know. Blame it on the fact that it's cold weather outside. But let's jump right into it. So, Boyle, Garrett, you all are doing great. You all wrote the daily plug. Boyle, as I mentioned first, that you mentioned, there are some injuries on this slate that we need to be aware of. And I can even drop down to the if-then section of the plug. But if you want to go ahead and talk about those injuries for a second.
Yeah, of course. So the first one I highlighted up here was Harrison Barnes. So last time he sat out, it was Jeffries who saw the start. For the first 2 games of Barnes' absence, it was Corey Joseph, but then they switched it up last game and gave Jeffries like 40 minutes. He only scored like 33 to 34 DraftKings points, but I mean his price on DraftKings isn't even at 4K yet. So we really like him on DraftKings, but on FanDuel he's close to 5K, so we're kind of avoiding him on there. The next situation I highlighted up in here, Steph Curry. If he's out, then it's probably going to go to the usage goes to Oubre and Wiggins. Wiggins goes up to 30%, and Oubre goes up to 25.8. Our real target would be Wanamaker, just because I mean off the bench he saw 33 minutes, and I mean he's basically min priced on both websites, so we love him as our. He's a low risk option, but he's also got a really really high ceiling. Next situation, Kyle Lowry, then play Van Fleet. We mentioned that Van Fleet didn't have like his standout game yet with Lowry out, but he does handle a team high 27% usage. He also averages 1.17 DraftKings points per minute. So we think he's going to be a pretty good elite option tonight. If you want to fade off of Harden, you can go down to Van Fleet. And then the last situation, it already was announced. Both Porzingis and Cleaver are out. I looked at the game script last game when both of them were out of the game, and they actually gave Cleaver's time to Tim Hardaway, which was a little weird because they just went small ball even against a big team. So we kind of expect them to do that again tonight, which makes Tim Hardaway somewhat of an option. His price isn't the best, but I mean he definitely is in play if you're looking at max.
Okay, nice, cool. And Garrett, I'll ask you this question, and because I know you do it a couple times when the situation's nice, about these if-then sections, not just from a DFS perspective, but from a sports betting perspective. You're one of the lucky people who you're allowed to bet. You're in a legal state, and some of these player props where, if there's an injury that happens, and let's just say for example for this very first one is if Harrison Barnes out, then play Jeffries. Is that type something that you would target on player props? It's like, okay, let's take maybe Jeffrey's points. And, all right, Harrison Barnes is out. Okay, I'm going to go play Jeffrey's player prop over, for example. Is that something that, that's something that the if-then section could be used for as well outside of DFS?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the times, like, you can get great player props, especially if you're, if it's a player who was out yesterday and it's a back-to-back, it's a likely chance that player is going to be out again. So it's a great advantage to take advantage. It's a good thought to take advantage of that early on in the day when the player prop is still, at a lower limit. Mm-hmm. But even after the player gets ruled out, a lot of the times they don't really fix it to the max.
Yeah, that makes sense. And maybe if we have some free time at the end, we can go look at one of the sports books here and see if there's any player props. You like call out a player prop, all three of us or something. Cool. And so I'll kick it back to you, Boyle. About the if-then section, are any of these plays, I guess because like with the Mavs situation, it's already been ruled out. Porzingis and Cleaver's already been ruled out, so this maybe not affect them too much. But how low owned or how does the ownership work for some of these players that if someone is out, the person you're supposed to play, are they super low owned? Does the field catch on to it pretty quickly? How does that kind of work?
So normally the field does catch on to it pretty quickly because normally it's like just play someone's backup.
Yeah.
So for the Lowry news, Van Fleet should be higher owned than he's expected to, I guess, as of right now. For players like with Curry, for Wanamaker, I really don't think Wanamaker is going to see too high ownership just because he's not going to be in the starting lineup. And a lot of times people go, oh, look, he's not starting. He's not going to get a lot of minutes. We saw that was not the case last game. So, that's probably our top option in the whole entire if-then is Wanamaker.
Wow.
So he's the one that we're trying to keep an eye on.
Yeah, so that definitely would be a good option there. And as I said, very low owned. That can be a great high-risk play. Question here from L. Feinstein says, Kyrie or Harden are we prioritizing? And I'll pass that one to you, Garrett.
So, I mean, the debate between Kyrie and Harden is pretty easy. I mean, Harden definitely has a higher ceiling, but he's also a lot more pricey on both sites. We expect ownership to be around the same for both of them tonight. In my eyes, if you're playing DraftKings and you have the opportunity to get that double-double, triple-double bonus, go after Harden. On FanDuel, it could really go either way. I'm prioritizing Harden myself, but there's definitely a case to prioritize Kyrie on FanDuel without the bonuses.
Okay, cool. And then I'm actually going to switch this one back up to you. You know, we talked about some low injury options with Wanamaker, maybe even Van Fleet being over-owned. But let's go ahead. Let's switch to the model here. And I'm just going to bring the model up. Again, you can check out the model at occupyfantasy.com, which ranks all the different players on the slate. And so Garrett, what do you think about some of these high-owned guys that are going to be in here today? So I'm just going to sort by DraftKings ownership. And I mean, Saban Lee, 42%. Mm-hmm. Kyrie Irving, 25%. Hardaway 23%. Giannis, 22%. Jokic, 20%. And Kemba, 20%. Any of these 20% plus guys, what's your thoughts on them? Are you playing them?
Yeah.
Or how are you handling that tonight?
So I put Saban Lee as a DraftKings only option in the plug, and I mean it shows in his ownership 1% on FanDuel, 42% on DraftKings. Just look at the pricing.
Yeah.
You know, he saw, I think it was like 28 minutes last game for the Pistons, and Wayne Ellington's out for them as well. So his ownership's going to be through the roof on DraftKings. I'm kind of sucking it up. I'm eating that chalk because whether he does well or not, he doesn't need much to hit value. As I said before, I'm kind of prioritizing Harden over Kyrie on DraftKings personally due to the bonuses for the double-double, triple-double. Just the ceiling's so much higher. So I'll be over the field on Harden, under the field on Kyrie probably. And then Kemba Walker, I understand the ownership for him, but I'm also he's going to be one of my lower-owned plays of the night. I'm not really too high on Kemba. The Dallas Mavericks play pretty tough defense. So I'm a little bit lower on Kemba tonight.
Okay, I can take that. Anything you want to add to that, Boyle? Do you have any differences to add to that?
No. I mean, I agree with Saban Lee. I mean, I'm only gonna touch him on DraftKings. I do get the whole Giannis and Jokic hype. I mean, we wrote up Giannis in the plug. I said at this point he just has reserved the elite power forward spot until Drew Holiday gets back, just because he's been insane these last 7 games. And we have Jokic as another option, so I could definitely see the ownerships being right about there for both of them. If anything, I feel like Giannis might be a little bit higher than that, but we'll see.
Nice. Yeah, and let's hope they do well so their Top Shot values increase so we can make some more money off that. Yeah, so if you keep having questions, go ahead and ask them. Question here from Kyle. I'll ask that to you, Boyle. He says, do you think Brunson sees 30 plus? And is he a pivot if the ownership is heavy on Hardaway?
Yeah, I mean, I like him as a high-risk pivot. If Hardaway isn't shooting well and the coach decides to sit him out, then Brunson can easily see over 30 minutes. As of right now, I'm not sure what the model has him at. I would say probably around 25 to 28 minutes is what my prediction would be right now. But, I mean, again, if Hardaway starts shooting bad, he's strictly a shooter. So if he starts playing bad, then they're going to throw Brunson in.
Yeah, and Brunson is projected.
Yeah, Brunson's projected 28.
Yep.
And I was right on, too. Look at that.
Nice. Cool. And then let's see here. I'll ask this one to you, Garrett. It says, let's see. Is there any value or upside with these cheap bigs? TT, Taj, Powell, Sekou, and Aminu.
So I think the big one that a lot of people in the Discord have been talking about was Dwight Powell, and I definitely agree with Powell's upside, especially min price on DraftKings. He's definitely my top of all those cheap bigs. So I think for me, out of all those, I would only target Powell and TT. Taj Gibson, he's not really a guy who will rack up points that quickly. Sekou Doumbouya, he's not a high production type of player. And Al-Farouq Aminu's coming off a lot of like a big injury for a very long period of time. So he's kind of taking it slow. I know he did well last game, but I'm not really riding that.
Cool. And then I'll ask this one to you, Boyle. Junior asks, Campazzo and Najee seem viable tonight because of injuries. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like it's the same injuries the Nuggets had for a while, so a lot of their prices are already adjusted. I'm personally not touching either one of them. I mean, I'm sure you can make a case if you're max entering, but I mean that's extremely high risk only.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, some good questions. We're here till 5:45, and then we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Feinstein says, "Are we in or Nerlens Noel, and is he playing?" Gary, if you want to take that one.
So yeah, Nerlens Noel is probable tonight. So chances are he's playing unless something drastically changes. And he is listed as one of our top plays in the power forward spot. We like his matchup against the Warriors front court. So, yeah.
Nice. Cool. Yep. So, Cam, real quick, he says Kyrie or Harden. If you could specify what site and contest type, but Boyle, do you have any preference?
I mean, Garrett just went over this in detail, but I mean, I'm on Team Harden as well. But yeah, I mean, G just gave the whole rundown.
Yeah.
So I'm sticking with what he said and going Harden.
Perfect. Yeah, because I know a few times on the Twitch stream you all used to go at it, and if you haven't noticed, that's the second time I've tried.
We still do sometimes.
I know I've been trying.
Oh yeah, we 100% still go at each other.
I've been trying to pry it all night, trying to get a clip going. But see, if you're like, let's see here. But boy, you do write the centers in the plug. I am right on that, right?
Yeah, I'm front court.
Yep. So Kyle says, "Who's your most exposed pay down center?"
Pay down center. I mean, personally, what I'm doing tonight is I'm looking to pay up, just because the center that we wrote up tonight, Jared Allen, we love him tonight, and then Jokic also has a really good matchup. So I'm between those two. If you are paying down, I guess I would go Powell without Cleaver or Porzingis in there. I would probably go Powell, but I definitely do prefer paying up.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, so if you like what you see here so far, again, we're going to start doing these YouTube videos a little bit more often. So go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, and bell notifications to be notified of when we upload some new videos. We also post this in our Discord. Go ahead and check out our Occupy Fantasy Discord, which is always awesome there. And again, you can check out the plug and the model at occupyfantasy.com. Feinstein says, "Is MPJ worth paying for on FanDuel tonight, Garrett?"
Yeah, he's definitely a viable option on FanDuel, especially with the Nuggets dealing with all those injuries. He hasn't really had any kind of breakout game yet. He's been struggling a lot this season. But you know, he should hit on some night. So when that happens, you're not going to want to miss it. But you got to know that there's risk there because they've held his minutes back when he isn't playing well. So
yeah, definitely. Cool. So we talked about some low-owned guys. We talked about some guys on the high end. Boyle, I'll start this one off with you. Is there anyone in that mid-range, let's say, I don't know, 10, 15% range that you were feeling really confident on, someone that you're going to be overexposed on tonight?
10 to 15. I'm just sorting the model right now so I can have a pretty good look at it real quick. But let's see. I mean, Jared Allen's in that range. That was my center I wrote up tonight. I definitely love him. I mean, obviously because I wrote him up. But he is going up against another weak defense tonight, like another weak center defense. So I mean that caught our eye. And then, I mean, he's just playing a lot of minutes since he got the starting job. So I mean, those two factors combined, just he makes him our top center option tonight.
Nice, that's always good to know. Cool. And then Garrett, what about you? Is there anyone else that kind of is in that mid range that you're like, hey, I'm going to be overexposed on this guy. I think he should be higher.
Yeah. First off, Kyle Lowry is just ruled doubtful, so Fred VanVleet definitely gets a boost on that. He's more likely to not play than play. But back to the question for me, definitely De'Aaron Fox. I'm going to be over the field on high scoring game against Brooklyn. They allow the third most points per game in the league. So I'm definitely going to be higher owned on De'Aaron Fox. And then I might go a little bit, if I'm maxing, I might go a little bit higher owned on some of these Atlanta guard forwards like Huerter and Gallinari with no Reddish, no Hunter. I think it's an opportunity for both of them to possibly break out a little bit.
Cool. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Yep, so 9 more minutes or so. So unless we have anything to talk about, let's actually take a look. Garrett, who did you just say? You said Kyle Lowry was just ruled out. Do you want to take a look at how that impacts some player props? I know we talked about it. Maybe we can bring up a sports book and take a look at it and see how, maybe not his stats, but you said there was someone who gets the major bump. Maybe we can look at his player props, see if there's any up there.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to switch tabs over to Bet Rivers, which is one of our partner sports books. Here you can check out, again, occupyfantasy.com. You get some deposit bonuses if you're in some of these legal sportsbook states. So the Toronto game, I'm going to go ahead and pull up there. And who are we looking for again, Garrett, you said? We'll take a look at player points.
Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet. So let's take a look.
Fred VanVleet.
Yeah. So Fred VanVleet now here has a total points of 21.5. I don't know if this has been adjusted. I haven't checked, as of, this is the first time I've checked this really all day. How would you think of a prop like that? Do you think that's too little, too high? Is that something you would touch? Maybe not.
I think that's something I would touch as an over. Fred, he scored 23 last night against Philly, and he had 12 and 17 in the games before that. But you just looking at his shot, at his shooting percentage, it's really been really bad lately. So I might take the over on that, and because he's been shooting under 50% the entire time Kyle Lowry's been out. I think tonight against Philly he could have a breakout.
Nice. So. Yep,
can I add to this a little bit? Or
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, add as much as you want. Yeah.
No, yeah. I just wanted to. I looked up his game log without Kyle Lowry this season. VanVleet averages 20 points per game, but he's also only shooting 38% from the field. So I mean, he, as Garrett just said, he's shooting like shit. I just wanted to give specific numbers, but yeah, I would definitely bet on that. Bet on the over.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so again, that's the prop we're giving out tonight is Fred VanVleet over 21.5 points. Shop around, maybe you can get something better there, but that's what we're going with. Hey, sports fans says I was late to the Top Shot scene, but I'm loving it right now. That's pretty awesome. I know, Boyle, you are having a little bit of regret with some of the Top Shot, but I know all three of us are absolutely loving it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just sad that I sold a couple days early, but I mean, I'm still making a lot of money, but it's just what could have been, It's always, hindsight's always a bitch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Fancy says, are we playing DJ Augustine? I'll ask that one to you, Garrett.
Yeah, DJ Augustine is one of our top cheap plays in the plug. Should see around 30 minutes again for the Bucks, and he shot like crap last game. We're hoping for him to kind of get back tonight against a rusty Wolves defense.
Yep. Cool. What's up, John? He says, do I dare go back to Dennis Smith Jr.? And Boyle, would you go back to Dennis Smith Jr. tonight?
No, I'm not going back to him. I mean, he only saw 15 minutes last game and 11 fantasy points. His price is the exact same it was last time, so I'm not touching him.
It makes sense to me. And then another question for you, Garrett. Josh Jackson versus Dante DiVincenzo on FanDuel. Shoot your shot.
I'm waiting for you to get that name right, Moose, but Josh Jackson for sure on FanDuel for me. No Wayne Ellington, no Delon Wright, Josh Jackson.
Yeah, once I started to say the name, I was like, all right, I already know I'm going to butcher this. So, yeah, names aren't my strong point. So, cool. So we have just a couple minutes left here until we're going to get up out of here. Garrett, I'll start it off with you. If there's anything else we haven't really talked about, if you want to plug a player, if you want to just pass it off to Boyle, whatever you want to say for a couple minutes, you can go ahead and say if there's anything we've missed.
I think just if you're like doing multi-entry tonight, get a healthy portion, a healthy variety of all these elite guys that we've been talking about. They all have really strong upside, so it's really like any combo of those elite players can really end up in the winning lineup tonight. Irving, Antetokounmpo, Jokic, Harden. There's just plenty of them to go around, so don't try not to get too focused on one.
Okay. Cool, I can dig that. And then, Boyle, is there anything else that you would like to add, or if you want to talk about a player or anything like that?
Nah, as G just said, I mean, it's a great night to multi-entry. I do want to just highlight one more time the if-then, because there's still two pretty big situations if you're playing on DraftKings. One, if you're only playing on FanDuel. But, I mean, again, Wanamaker's going to be low owned, so I would definitely keep an eye out for Steph Curry news. And on DraftKings, I mean, Jeffries is going to be a top cheap option as well. So, yeah, I would definitely just keep an eye on the injuries.
Cool. Yeah, that's always a big thing with. I was only going to say just NBA, but now apparently NHL is a big thing where late line moves and stuff like that. Something to think about. But some more questions,
right.
And then I'll take. Yeah, it's crazy. You think you got the right line, and then they say, 15 minutes before the game starts, this person's not playing or something. It's like, great, this is terrible. Now all my lineups are dead.
I'm happy we're spreading the wealth.
I know, right? Let's see here. John says, is Jamal Murray a nice pivot? Garrett, is Murray a nice pivot for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about that when running the plug, but then I had to remember that the plug is for low risk. So Murray I had to skip out on him. He's expected to be just like 1% owned on DraftKings, 7% on FanDuel, because of his high price point now. But I mean, it was well earned. He's been shooting out of his mind lately. So riding that hot hand with the short-handed team is definitely a way to go in high risk.
Cool. Awesome. And then Lowry not playing. Boyle, with Lowry not playing, do you consider OG over Osman?
Not really. I mean, I'm still sticking with the plug for the small forwards. I mean, even Josh Richardson kind of gets added to that with the Porzingis news, as we highlighted in the if-then. So, I mean, I'm basically just between the three that we mentioned in the plug and then Richardson now.
Yeah. Cool. So, cool. So, if we don't have any more questions, I think that'll pretty much wrap it up. Again, I'm Moose, Garrett, and Boyle here from OccupyFantasy.com. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell notification. Follow us on Twitter. Go ahead and check out the Daily Plug. Again, there's also the Discord as well, where Garrett and Tommy are always breaking down, answering questions, having a good old time down there. So until next time, Moose, Garrett, and Boyle from Occupy Fantasy. Have a good night.
See you guys.